The annual agriculture report shows Idaho farmers and ranchers had another good year. We have Bree Clark with us in the studio. And Bree, we're talking about billions of dollars being added to the state's economy, aren't we?
Well, Jay, we're looking at almost $10 billion in revenue, but economists say there are a lot of factors in the report, and it may not all be good news.
2014, we set some new records, which I think a lot of people tend to focus on, thinking that that's all great, and it is.
University of Idaho agricultural economist Paul Patterson says there was very significant growth in many agricultural sectors, but the numbers shown may be taken out of context.
Well, you can't just look what's happening here locally in terms of supply and demand. You got to look at it in the global context.
The report focuses on a calendar year, not farming and harvest seasons. So events like last year's flooding won't always impact revenue within a calendar year.
Some of the negative impacts that occurred in some sectors of agriculture, particularly here in eastern Idaho on the grains and on the hay crop, won't show up until next year because the way we calculate those values.
Crops can also skew numbers because they aren't sold in the same year that they are harvested.
There are 2 crop years that get incorporated within our estimates for 2014. So that included some of the crop from 2013 that was sold in 2014.
But even if numbers aren't exactly what they seem, economists say other sectors accurately contributed to this year's revenue, especially the dairy industry. 2009 was a disastrous year for the dairy industry, and they needed a year like this to try to get healed up. This last year, every month in 2014, milk prices were above $20, and some months significantly above. On the demand side of things, economists say milk and livestock are looking well, but next year that may not be the case. We will see some reductions in cash receipts and also a decrease in net farm income. I think it's pretty much a given, given the trends we see right now in commodity prices. And economists say it's hard to predict what this year will look like, but cattle prices seem to be staying pretty strong. But whether they will produce the revenue needed is still to be determined. Live here in the studio, I'm Bree Clark.
Thanks, Bree. This is the 4th record year in a row. Sales jumped 16% between 2013 and 2014. The potato remained Idaho's top crop with $885 million in sales.